Hello and good evening and welcome to One Hub Racing. We're back for round 2 season 13. Brazil was a cracker. We're here in Austin. We're just gone
here in Austin. It's a lot more clear here, the weather. It's a lot more clear here in Austin for today's proceedings than it was earlier in the Podium Tier. Haven't seen precision, so I don't know how the weather was there, but Jamie, it's safe to say that it was driving a lake in the race earlier.
Yeah, I think the track was flooded, but they've got rid of all the water now, and we should have a nice, good competitive qualifying session. And let's not remember our sponsor this season, which are Next Level Racing. If you go on their website and buy their goods, if you type One Hub 10 in the promotions box, you'll get 10% discount.
We want to thank Next Level Racing for sponsoring One Hub. But anyway, do you want to quickly run down the drivers' standings?
Yeah.
Whilst people are just setting on their outlap.
Yep.
Brief rundown. So Jesse is on top, however he's no longer here, he's moved up to the prestige tier. I commentate on it last. No, I still don't know the name. Then Scopefielder in second, so that means that Scopefielder now is the de facto leader of the championship. Then Nick, not Nick, Knockingham, who I'm seeing on my screen, the other Nick, and then Bill Andinio, Malloy, Darkbolt, James Slater, the Spaniard, Midnight, and Glock, they round out the top 10. Then Justice Jonas, the other Nick, CSS, Lawmans, Mally, Kian, Owen Wyatt, Mummy Papa, who is also no longer here, Raikkonen, and Spaghetti Chips. So, if I'm correct, we have a few new drivers. So,
yeah. Well,
what to talk about is Dave. He is possibly the biggest addition.
Yeah, because obviously the Podium Tier champion last season. He did the prestige tier last week, and he didn't have the best of the races. He got his elbows out a bit too much, I have to say, and he got a penalty from the stewards. And he's obviously, with Jesse moving up, we had to replace him with somebody. Got the call up. He was the third in line, I've got to tell you. The two guys ahead got asked to move down, didn't want to. So Dane Star, he wanted to move down. You could say he's pretty lucky to move down, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say it's the right move. I've done it, but I think as a driver to go from being in the bottom tier and kind of being a rookie in season 12, and at the start of it at least, to then having great form, I want to go to the top tier straight away. I think this Pinnacle Tier is the best fit for him.
Yeah, he won't have had it easy Podium Tier last season because a lot of really good drivers in here as well. With Mummy Papa leaving, we've got another driver in the Renault, so we've got a brand new drive lineup this week. And we've got Speed Senna, who hasn't joined in the qualifying session, but he may join during the session and start from the back of the grid in the race.
Darkbolt with a great time. We said we'd watch out for him. He had a decent race last night. Raikkonen clicking in the times. Glock, they were a bit slow the times. What can Nick do in the Mercedes though? Mate, I don't want to be harsh on Nick. We had a very poor Grand Prix in Interlagos from Mally.
That's a good time. It's more like it from Mally. Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you think about Nick though? Because he was obviously one of the big guys. Performed perhaps his best place to where he wanted to be.
Yeah, he had a really good qualifying. I bet he qualified 7th, and he wasn't that far front row. But again, his race, he showed a little bit of rustiness in my view, and obviously he got that behind the safety car. Behind the virtual safety car, sorry, he got that speeding penalty, which is a drive-through penalty, and that really wrecked his race, and it ruined any chance of him scoring points, which he was looking good for before that happened.
Yeah, and also Nick invalidated his lap as well, so the bad times for Nick keep rolling on here in One Hub in his return. But so yeah, mate, look at the top. Kian goes second as well. I believe Kian is still an esports driver.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he can't do every race because of his work schedule, but he turns up when he can, and I expect him. I was in a practice with him last night, and he looked really quick, so I expect him to be up there with these quick guys, as he's already proven. And look at that, between 2nd and 6th already, we've got 2 tenths. Just shows you how competitive this tier is.
Yeah, Norman. He got an ankle unless it's a name change.
No, he wasn't racing last week. He wasn't in last week.
Stamping an authority. Again though, Midnight, so far having a good season. He struggled in terms of the race pace, but as we said, he's one to watch out for. As he runs across the circuit, I believe will come in. I don't think there's a lap there, he's done there in deployment. But I think we see big things from Midnight, former CXY. But yeah, there is an issue going on at the south of garage. Two Saubers wanted to come in at the same time here.
Oh yeah, Raikkonen's having to wait, obviously. Quite apt to have a Raikkonen in a Sauber, that's quite funny, seeing that.
Dane Starr's right to finish his lap then. Oh, he's gone wide. Oh, I don't know whether that's invalidation. But oh, he's run out of it. ERS as well. He's clearly kept it in hot lap.
He's gone third though, good lap. Yeah, obviously around here you can't use the full DRS on hot lap, so you have to you either have to save a little bit in the lower building, like a slower section, or you just take the loss on the final straight, and Danestar's done that, but it's worked out well for him.
Also, Jamie, this might be useless knowledge for you, but I find it's not always the most comfortable to run in hot lap around here, especially in the first sector. I like to run in high more than hot lap. I think it just works better.
Yeah, I experienced that because the back end does get a bit lively. As we can go on board the James Slater in the Haas, yet to set a lap, so he's going a bit off kilter with everyone else. He wants a nice clear track, which is what he got. Let's see what he can do.
Also, Scope Fielder, the championship leader, not here tonight, so whoever wins will be the new championship leader.
He is here tonight. He's in 7th.
Oh, I'm just blind. Leave me alone.
It's okay.
I haven't had the ice testing in a long while. The sector 1 yellows, is that just cars getting out of the way?
It might be a slow car, yeah.
Around here. But what could James Slater do? Obviously, Prestige Tier last season, and he gave it a good go, didn't he, Jamie? But he wasn't quite up to pace.
No, I think this is more his level, and obviously we're hoping, now James Slater has raced with us a very long time. He's yet to get a podium, so hopefully this season he can do it. Obviously I got mine last week, so hopefully James Slater can get his soon.
Yeah, Jamie is a fabulous podium. Hopefully many more to come for Jamie. He said he wants to retire, but I think there's going to be a new start. As he goes a bit off kilter, does James Slater there?
Yeah,
he's been losing 4/10 at least. There might be an invalidation as well, but it seems to be keeping going. This is one of the hardest corners in the game, Jamie. What do you think about it? The exit.
Yeah, the traction. He's limited for traction out there. As you can see, he's running in 3 ERS throughout there, so obviously in this section he wants to save a little bit. I won't be surprised. Oh, he turns at the hot lap towards the end of the lap. Yeah, that's a very difficult corner. The rear end just wants to do a swap on you as he's coming to pit, so obviously he's invalidated that lap. And he'll go out again, so you see what Owen Wyatt can do. Yet to set a time in the Ferrari.
Now, one man that's being interesting right now is John. The super softs, staying on the softs. That's interesting, but it's a mandatory 2-stop rule, new for this season in One Hub Racing.
Yeah, I think Glock maybe, he's done 3 laps them tyres, so maybe he just wants a bit of a confident, bit of a long run at the start, see how the track feels, and I expect him to do 2 runs on the ultras at the end.
Who's currently on a lap then? You've got Owen Wyatt, obviously, and you've also got Nick about to start a lap. I assume you've got your eyes on Owen. I'll look around the rest of the field and see whether I can see any good ones. Sorry if you can hear my dog in the background, I completely apologise.
It's okay.
I don't know what she wants. But right now, I'm currently the fastest man on circuit, but if he can go any faster, that might just stamp his authority on this pole position. Yeah,
he's a slightly better qualifying last week. Obviously, remember last week he crashed out in the pit exit within 10 seconds, so he's had a slightly better afternoon so far, I think, from Ali.
Or has he just stopped on the circuit for no reason? I'm very confused. Don't know. We'll know his back. He's just letting people through. Good job there by Dartbolt.
Let's see these
Owen
guys.
Wyatt, though, to the final sector now in that Ferrari. Obviously, a Ferrari won the podium race. Can Owen get his team into the podium here to improve their constructors' hopes? So all the tiers, constructors' points are added together this season. So it's all about egging on and helping your teammates from all tiers. So for Jamie, that would be Malloy and Scott Fielder, and for me, it would be Raikkonen and Dartbolt. But again, we should. This lends to it being a dry race for me, because we've not seen people go for 3 runs.
No.
Which we would normally see if it was a wet. I think people are going to save 1 set of ultras. As
Lawman's
retired,
I think he's probably binned it. Or Raikkonen as well. So are they involved in a collision? That'll be interesting to see.
Well, look at that, Nick. There's a cross line P5, they're all on the front straight, mate. I'll see whether I can find someone for you that's going through that section. Look at Spaghetti Chips, He's going to be the one to look at, I think.
He's probably cleared it, no, in my look.
Possibly. No, you can see, oh, they just did, as you turned the
Oh
corner.
yeah, I just
there.
saw the fragments of the car there. Was spaghetti chips with a 31.5 on the. That's a good lap on the supers, a 31.5. So expect when he goes on the ultras to get in the 1 minute 30s. Is Malloy's jumped into second place.
This is going to be a close qualified. Nick as well, P6 at midnight, and you know, but Norman being not the top 10 here. So 3 times the tyre on a track like USA isn't the worst thing in the world.
No. The wheelboard of Kian is about to finish his lap. Can he jump into pole position? We're going to have a look. Now he's got a bit of traffic ahead. That might distract him, Kian. That might distract him here. Got a bit of traffic ahead as he comes in the pits. So he must have aborted his lap there.
If you're Raikkonen, you kind of want to get knocked out of the top 10, so you're not in the 2 bottom positions of the top 10, and that means you can get your 3 choice of tyre. Would you say track position is key?
Well, I think if you're 10th place, you'd rather be 11th, I think, because you're on the cleaner side of the grid, and you'll get... If it's any higher up, you probably want to stay in position, but 10th, I think you want to see one of these guys improve, and I think he will. I think the will with track evolution at the end, as Scopefield has gone third.
It's taken an interesting route there to get out of the way. Good job. It's nice to see these drivers getting out of the way as well for the qualifying laps. Yeah,
it's very hard to in that section areas that it's very hard. You can't really follow. So if you see a car ahead, you're just better off just pulling off track, letting them through. We're going to go above Danestar here. He's on his second qualifying lap. See what he can do.
The top 8 are separated by essentially 4 tenths.
Yeah. As Identity Fraud, who's Raikkonen, was in the chat saying I'm stupid, so I guess it was maybe his fault. Alright, so that's very much a Kimi type phrase, saying I am stupid, in a very blunt and straight to the point, as James Slater jumps into 10th place.
Makes this qualifying even closer.
So 6 tenths.
Danestar runs wide, that's
he's coming in. Yeah, that lap wouldn't have counted anyway, who took the IndyCar line, as we say, through there. So see who else is on the lap. We'll go on board the CSS.
CSS is about to finish his lap, yeah, this is you say it. What can he do? Can he join his teammate in top 10?
He's
no,
not 12.
But crucially, Raikkonen has been dropped out of the top 10.
Yeah, I think he'd be happy with that. I think he'd rather be 11, but I think he'll drop further looking at CSS and spaghetti chips times. And,
I would say as well, Glock is around to watch because they did their times on the super softs.
I think Raikkonen might find himself on the back row looking at this, looking at the times. So you can see there's between pole and 13th place, it's 1 second. So once again, showing how competitive this tier is, especially with Jesse moving up. As we'll see what Dartbolt can do now. He's on the lap.
What can Jonas do as well? He's struggling. I think in this tier, he didn't have the best to qualify. He had a decent race from
it went astray at the end though. I think he got a 10-second penalty, which knocked him out the points. So yeah, he showed decent race pace though. I think he can maybe compete towards the points, back into the points maybe. So maybe the learning experience of Jonas this season, the higher tier. He's not used to racing drivers as quick as these guys.
Remember as well that it's only an 8 calendar.
Oh yeah.
On the next game though, F1 2019 for a full 21 race calendar, and it will be the last time for at least a little bit that we feature Catalonia on the calendar. That's leaving us.
Yeah, we're getting the Zandvoort track in Holland replacing it, and looking at that, I don't think that's going to make another Monaco, looking at how that track's going to be. It would be pretty fun to drive, but I can't see that much overtaking, as we're going board with Nick, who's about to start a flying lap.
So, yeah, but this is so interesting right now. Has Nick gone out a bit early? Maybe he's thinking he might invalidate here, but I think...
He's the only guy out on track, so he's got clear air. Maybe he just wants a bit of fresh, clear air. There's a few guys, all of them are coming out now, so he's going to have a track all to himself effectively. So we'll see what he can do. Again, if he can improve by 2 tenths, he'll jump up to 4th place, and that is doable, I think.
If he improves by less than a tenth, you can go up 1 position already. So really, the most minimal of improvements will get him up the grid. Does that give you more? That scare you though, JD? If you know this going in, if he's watching the stream and he knows that these laps are so close, is that a scary thing, or is that more of a good thing for the
I think it's a good thing, because he shows you that you're quite competitive. You think, oh, the position's not so good, but look at the time, far off, and if he can, but he's running low ERS. So I wonder if he's invalidated this. I think he look at that. So he'll be saving his tyres and fuel for another lap at the end of the session to beat everyone else.
How much traffic is here coming there? That's his issue.
Yeah, they're all coming out. I see all these cars, they're all leaving the pit now. Where is Nick on track? Could be right, though. He's coming around the last few corners. So I think he might be okay. A lot of the cars, they're like round the first section. So I think he'll be alright now for this lap.
James Slater, I think, is on his way out. Yes, he is.
He is a little bit late, but he should have enough time.
I would say just. I know it's CSS, so James Slater is effectively done.
Yeah, he's
just hit. But Nick gets
stuck in the
just
garage.
in front of sector 2 yellows.
I bet the big car's slowing down, I think, to get the tyres prepped for the flying lap.
But here comes Nick, though. What can he do? Looks very comfortable in this first sector, as to be said. It's not the easiest of sectors.
He's 2 tenths up on his previous time, so keep this up, then he can maybe move up some places.
The Scotfielder moved up. Was he just the third?
Yeah, he was third. He's been third. Yeah, he dropped third on his second lap, I think. Yeah, so it's good qualifying for Red Bull so far, and McLaren, you have to say.
These qualifyings, and it's as close as this, because one lap from any of these guys could throw zeros in sectors where you always have to check in qualifying, because this isn't the easiest circuit, as we've been saying, Jamie. What can Nick do?
He's lost time in the second sector, so
he is pushing there. This is the important thing.
yeah, this is his final lap, because I don't think he's going to fuel to another lap, so he's rounding the final few corners now. Can he get this lined up well?
Is he going to run out of ERS?
No, he should just be okay. Should just be okay.
Oversteer on the exit.
He hasn't improved.
He did improve the lap, but he didn't improve.
Well, Dainstar's gone to pole position
by 6,000. And look at this, Valley's going to get some slipstream of his teammate if lets him through, which I think he's going to go
if that was planned. Wonder if that was planned. Yeah.
Maybe, but I think that might just give Mally the edge here.
Yeah, can go by the Scopefield. He's about to finish a lap now. Kian's not far behind, so I wonder if Kian's been held up a little bit here by the Red Bull driver.
Well, the Red Bull driver's in.
Scopefield pits. So Kian, what can he do?
Can he get on the second row of the grid at least?
He gets third. He jumps to Red Bulls.
Oh, look at the gap. Look at the gap though. Like
oh yeah.
Oh, Mally runs wide. I don't know.
That might have cost him, I think. Yeah, it looks a bit messy the past few corners, but he does pull anyway.
I think
see what Malloy can do. Malloy gets second. Oh, look at that! Look at the gap. It's 300ths, I believe.
Dark Bolt still to come.
The last guy to finish at last guy on his lap here. He's the final guy. He's getting loose. Good second. Look at that! Oh my God, that's 9,000ths of a second between the front two.
Dainstar is out.
As Glocks move up to 6th at the end, and Jonas 15th for Spaghetti. See what CSS can do. Is he on the lap? He's the last guy to complete, I believe. Oh no, he's...
So CSS, he's lost it.
No, I think he got a bit frustrated there. I think he maybe lost some time, and I think he knew his lap was done. So
that's qualifying done. Then we just need to wait for the. Oh no, we don't. He's retired, thankfully. But what a qualifying!
Yeah, that was very close. I have to say. Oh my God, the gap between the front three. Oh, it's incredible. Do you want a man running through the order for us, please? When it loads up.
Absolutely do that. I'll also run through a bit of the gaps as well, especially those right close. The top qualified anyway. So Mally will take the lead in the McLaren going from pole. 9,000ths behind him was Dartbolt. Then Malloy less than half a tenth behind him. Dainstar, just a tenth and a half behind pole, but a good time. Kian very close to Dainstar. Then Glock, then Skipfield, then Nick, then Midnight, then Lawmans. Those guys all separated by 6/10. Just behind them, the James Slater, Viking and Owen, the CSS, Jonas and Spaghetti Chips. Those guys will get a free choice of time. Now hopefully they'll make the right choice and do the mandatory 2-stop, because otherwise you will be disqualified.
Yeah, as I apologise for that. I had a slight issue there. The results screen didn't load up for me, so I apologise for that. Nothing to do about that. That was the game. So
well, it's lucky that I ran through them.
Yeah. Well, as we get to dry race as well, so obviously the top 10 will all start on them ultra soft tyres, and the strategy, I believe, will be will be two stop obviously, but I believe most of these guys want to do 2 runs on the supers and a run on the ultras. You might see some drivers gamble and do 2 runs on the ultras, but I tried that in practice, and the ultras, they don't last very long around here.
It's not going to be the go-to tyre. You essentially use time on the ultras by lap 3. I found really. It's when the tyres start to go off. Will people though in the back? Will they go supers, ultras?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not. But I expect a lot of guys outside top 10 start on the supers, go for a longer run, and then you never know, a safety car might happen in the race, and there'll be huge advantage with a nice set of ultras to run at the end of the race. They can really move up the field well.
Also, will anyone be ultras, no, supers, ultras, supers. Anyway, then here we go. The formation lap. It doesn't look like rain's on the way. Nick has done a jump start there. Hopefully, that's not a precursor of things to come.
No.
But what do you think of the circuit? I think it looks beautiful, but I think it's hellish to drive.
Yeah, it's not my favourite track, but it's quite a fun track. It does produce good racing, so I do enjoy watching races around here. But like I say, I think I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't really get a good balance around here. I really struggle, and whenever I finish race around here, I'm ecstatic.
Hey Jamie, do you want to public Grand Prix fun facts?
Yeah, go on then.
I believe this is it's weird that he's come to this tier, but this is a big race for Dane Starr. It's not only his first race here in the Pinnacle Tier this season, but this is where he clutched his win, I believe, last season in the Podium Tier.
Yeah, he got the champ. Yeah, I think he got the championship round here last season. I think him and CXY were in a pretty fun battle. As I'll run through the starting tyres for you outside the top 10. So you got James Slater in 11th. He's on the supers. Got Raikkonen in 12th, who's on the supers. Owen in the Ferrari, he's on ultras. CSS in the Haas is on supers. Jonas in the Ferrari is on ultras, and Spaghetti Chips at the back of the grids on supers.
Alright, mate. Right, I'm going to ask you this again. Who do you think is going to clutch it today?
I've Dartbolt. I think he might get the win.
Star, he's definitely a danger man. I think he's unknown here as the car is a good. Anyway, I'll look at James Slater in the midfield so I get a good idea, and I'll keep you updated if anything good happens. Okay, as the cars are rounding the final corner now, the start is not long away. Will Mali keep hold of his start? Obviously, last week he's at the back of the grid, now he's on pole, so role reversals for the McLaren driver. Hopefully, he won't run away with it then. But here we go. The guys at the front, Mali will be like, hurry up boys, the tyres are getting cold, but all the cars are quite packed together down here for round 2 of season 13 in One Hub Racing. Hope we get a better view of this for a start. I'm on board with his nose. I hope we get a better view than that. There we go, that's a better view. 3, 4, 5. And away we go, no jump starts this time as Dartbot gets off to a good start. He's got the run on Mali into turn 1. As Dane Starr's going to go for it. 4 wide into turn 1. Can they hang on? Yes, the Dartbot takes the lead, and Mali's been pushed back to 4th place. What a dreadful start for the McLaren driver. The Ferraris have hit each other. Oh no, Jonas! Oh. There's a half spinning of CSS, a bit of carnage at the back here. What a start from Dartbolt there. He just launched off the line. Raikkonen's up to 8th place already. What a start he's had in the Sauber. Midnight is up the inside of Scopefielder, who's not had the start. But I believe there's a bit of carbon fibre up underneath the Mercedes and Nick, so maybe he's a bit low on the wings there. But this is going to be a good one now. No DRS deployed here, but still. Can Dane Starr go for the lead? He's got to run. Now on Dartbolt. And no, Dane Starr, he's not afraid to go for his moves here. He's going to try around the outside. That's not going to work. Dartbolt holds on pretty well there, but can he get the switchback into these sections of corners, which you can see a lot of switchbacks in here, but I think Dartbolt's got it covered. Good start as well. Yeah, and from my knowledge, if you're going to do an overtake down that back straight, you really want to be on the inside than the outside. Yeah, you just get pushed out there. There's a Scopefield. Kean and Nick are going at it.
Yeah, two good friends, these two. As Raikkonen's not far behind either. He's going to go for it to the final corner. Brave man do move here, but Nick holds on.
Normans is in.
Yeah, got damage. The Schofield, I think, as well, has got damage. He's dropped a lot of places at the start. He had a dreadful start, but he's got a run on Owen here for 11th place. Can his fight back start here?
Midnight and Raikkonen. Midnight and Raikkonen goes up. Raikkonen's had a great start on those super soft tyres.
Yeah, Midnight holds on there though. There's Owen and Schofield are going side by side into the S's. Who's the bravest? Schofielder is. He gets the move done and he's up to 11th.
He didn't get the best run out next corner now, and Owen has to brake because of that. And again, it's going to be like a domino effect now. Everyone's going to have to brake.
Yeah.
He's falling off a dart ball. Maybe your prediction was right, but I love the two we predict to win, and now the top two. As Mally is in fourth position. Now, how quick will Damestar catch him here? He's caught up a lot off the exit of that. Here we go then, slipstream, obviously no DRS yet, but I'm sure he'll be in high nose. It doesn't seem likely though, as Damestar's a bit too far behind.
Malloy's looking at a look, but he's too far back. He has the DRS, but the problem is for all doing it, they're going to be in DRS trains, so the dart bolts are really vulnerable.
Here comes John out on chips.
Yeah. I think he's got a couple of John's got down the inside. No, but Chips locks up. Yeah, he locks up. He's struggling for braking, but Jonas going to send it down here. He does. Does he get the move done? Yes, he does.
Ferrari hits Chips. Owen Wyatt hit Chips on the exit. Wyatt might have some wing damage.
Yeah, he's got a bit of understeer. Yeah, the understeer is remarkable as we go back on board with the front runners. Obviously, DRS is enabled, and Dartbolt sort of pulled away a little bit, but he's still not outside the DRS range yet. But Malloy looks more likely of these three to make a move. I think he looks really racy.
Owen is in. Will Owen go for a set of supers now? Can you do two supers on the end of the race, or will he go soft and ultra soft? It'll be interesting.
He's going on supers. Yeah, I think he'll take them as long as he can, and then you see if he can do another set of supers. If not, he'll bolt on the softs, I believe.
But no, Malloy is looking like the most comfortable of these drivers right now.
Yeah, it's sort of obviously we'll see what people's wings levels are down the straight with DRS and high ERS. We'll see who's running the lightest wings. But yeah, in the corners.
Please don't go too wide, boys. There's a bit more straight line speed than Dartbolt. But here comes Malloy.
Malloy looks like really good straight line speed. He's got a run on Danestar here. Would he brave it down the inside?
He will. He has to. Yes, he is.
Oh, Danestar fights back. Danestar, it's got the inside of this corner. But Malloy's trying to go around the outside. He's a brave man to do this. There was a bit of contact there, was there?
Malloy's going to stick it.
Yeah, Malloy should get the move done here now. And Danestar is forced off the track, and Malloy is up to second.
Contact!
Danestar's hit Malloy, and I think that might be in the steward's office.
Danestar there getting a bit too quick on the exit. Malloy comes onto the circuit, and that's not race ruined, obviously, because of the two-stop rule. But stop where his
race win over, I think, and that's helped Dartbolt pull away. Look, he's got 2.5 second lead, so that has really helped the McLaren drivers. Malloy comes in, and Christian Horner will be furious, I think.
Well, there's currently a battle going on here between 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Nick again in the points, Keane in 5th, Instar 4th, but Mally now is
Mally's struggling. I think he's struggling. I think his tyres starting to give up a little bit. And he's got Glock. Glock comes out of nowhere. He's up to 3rd place. Obviously, he benefited from that collision between Dane and Malloy. As Malloy goes on the soft, so he's going to have a long run on these soft tyres. Let's see what recovery drive he can do.
Chips made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, he's struggling.
He's got no wing. That's for sure.
I think he'll be coming in the pits.
He's got a bit too far behind, I would say. Yeah. So, but good defending there from Mally to get out of the slipstream. But what will these guys do in the middle? Will Nick go for him on Keane? Not exactly, no. Doesn't look like any moves are going to be done this lap, but it's such close. One thing you got to give to the US circuit, it does invite overtaking at almost every point in the circuit.
Yeah, especially in the especially down that long straight, and into turn 1 as well. That's not possible taking place, but turn 1, because it's so wide, you can multiple lines work in there. So that's why I sort of like turn 1. It's quite a fun corner when you get it right. But look at this: Nick, Midnight, and Raikkonen are all catching up to this battle for 2nd place, and James Slater as well.
And also, Mally is catching Dot. I don't know whether Dot was on the rest lap or Mali's had to go on, but Midnight is getting himself out there, so good job. I don't think he has any ring damage.
He's going for an undercut, I think. Yeah, Glock goes down the inside of turn 1, but Mali has it covered, I think. Yeah, I think a lot of these guys, they fancy the undercut here. Obviously, I think the Ultras, they go to about lap 6, lap 7 at the max, but they tend to go off by about lap 4. So I think them guys, they're going for a longer run on the soft supers, and they should jump these guys because they're all fighting and the tyres are going off.
Darkbolt is pulling away in the first sector as Mali goes wide.
Yeah, he's struggling.
He's get the run of dreams. Is he just stick out the inside, or is he going to wait?
No, that's wait. But he's still going to DRS, I think. So.
Oh, contact! No, not
no.
No. That's
got a lot of Danestar. Let's got that Danestar to benefit from that.
Keane's going to get some benefit from Mali. Glock's going to try and go up the inside of Danestar again. It's going to be an interesting one here, though. 4 essentially in the battle now.
There's Glocks will go on the outside, but Mali, listen, Mali's a bit feisty, you have to say, he's not, but that's just allowed Darkbolt.
He knocked Glock.
Yeah, it's a long straight, don't really need to be fighting and exit the corner.
Inside.
Oh, what a move that is! DL.
Glock's stuck here around the outside though. This battle's still going on here.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here. He's got to be careful. Yeah, he's given he can go side by side through here. It'd be incredible if he did, but he backs out. Let's Glock back through.
Pits then? Let's find out.
Danestar.
All of them. All of them.
Darkbolt stayed out. Yeah, he'll serve that in his next pit stop. He'll serve that in his next.
Unfair.
Yeah.
He went to go in the pits
speeded in the pit lane. Was it speeding in the pit lane?
No, it wasn't speeding. It was corner cutting. So I think that's a bit unfair to Mali. Okay. It was a corner cutting penalty.
Yeah. There's a Danestar. He's all going on. Yeah, we'll see. He has to submit evidence as Midnight has undercut all these guys. Look at he's up to 7th place.
Look at Raikkonen though. Raikkonen has so much more speed than
I think Nick's tyres have gone off. And Nick could be in this lap. Look at that bot, it's got a 6-second lead. Obviously the guy's head all pitted, but he's trying to go a bit longer to come out on fresher tyres. James Slater's not far back. Yeah. He should still be pretty comfortable though, I think. As Raikkonen will get this move done easily.
Danestar and Midnight, this is a little podium tier battle from last season. But Nick again just cannot defend on the look at this, it's a job done.
He's going to try though. Yeah.
Oh.
Go round outside here, Raikkonen. This is one hella move, does it, round the outside here. But he should get him into these 2 corners here. He should get him down here, I think. No, he doesn't.
Runs a good defensive line.
He's run deep there though. But he got a good exit, and he should be in the pits this lap. We'll see if Darkbolt pits. I'll be surprised if he doesn't.
He's in.
Yeah. See what Nick does. There's Raikkonen. Oh, he's all over the back of him. He's like pushing him around the final 2 corners.
Nick has to pit. Danestar though. Will Danestar take second spot again? He's been behind Midnight here, but I feel like he's faster than Midnight.
Yeah.
Where will this happen? As Jonas is now technically net P3 the race lead. But will Danestar overtake Midnight fastest?
Yeah, but that's because Danestar's an outlap, so obviously he didn't do a proper lap time.
The 3 yellows, Owen Wyatt seems to be the yeah, it's Owen.
Yeah, he's spun around. I see Danestar. He's still stuck behind Midnight here, and I saw he picked up a 3-second penalty a few laps ago.
Midnight, well, this is crucial though. Midnight is only 2 seconds behind Darkbolt, so that means that within that lap alone, Danestar caught 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the Alpha Romeo.
Just shows how powerful the undercut is around 3 seconds. That is humongous. That's how far Midnight has jumped all these people, because he picked a lap earlier than everyone else.
Yeah, I think as well it shows the tyres and how bad the Ultrasoft are as a race tyre. Here comes Danestar though. Is he going to get the better Midnight? You think so, just based on 16 and DRS.
He's a long way back.
He's a bit far away.
Yeah, reminds me lunges up the inside of his Schofield and Kean are getting pretty clasty as well as Midnight hangs on there just about. As Glock has passed Nick.
Midnight's catching Darkbolt as well, so technically this is kind of helping Danestar that he's behind a fast driver like Midnight.
Yeah,
is that kind of his strategy now?
Yeah, but if they start squabbling, which I think they're gonna pretty, then you will lose time eventually. As Danestar is all over the back of him in these high-speed corners, but you can't overtake here. You've got to try and get your move done into turn 1. He's got to get a good exit out of here, which he does. He should get the move done in turn 1. He sets a fast lap himself.
Nick and Glock are in a battle right now. Bad exit by side. I'll keep my eyes on this one. You keep your eyes for the battle on top. Mali goes fastest, but you can see how far back Mali is now.
Yeah, he's...
Here comes Nick. Dive bomb on Glock. There, and he gets the move done, but on the switchback, I think Nick's just going to have this one done. Good job there from the Mercedes.
Yeah, we score back on Modern Danestar, who again, he seems a lot quicker than Midnight, but he just can't find a way past. I think Midnight's... It's a penalty to Midnight, so they're both even on time. What is?
Tell you what though, Dartbolt is not getting away from this. But this is a lap where Gamestar has to overtake. He knows he's faster.
He's starting to pull away now. He's half a second ahead on this lap, so yeah, you can start slowly see him disappearing. So he needs, if he wants any chance to win the race or keeping it close in this stint, he needs to do it now.
Gamestar's a lot closer this lap. Yeah, there you go. I think it's essentially a job done here.
Round outside though, this is going to be brave if he pulls it off, and no, he doesn't. You know, Midnight defending well, you have to say, but he should lose it inside here. No, he can't get past.
No, it's just not a done deal, is it? Danestar!
Oh yeah, he had to force that. I think he had to force that because he was getting frustrated. I can see the frustration in his driving there. He's getting a bit frustrated, but he's got the move done.
Still got a bit of traffic, which is going to help Danestar.
Yeah, he should clear. He should clear him here. I think should as Owen's out the race. That's no huge surprise. No.
But here comes Startbolt up the inside of CSS. Done deal. The front is super soft there.
Easy move there. There's no flag. I think it's just Owen's car.
I don't see the. Oh yeah, so. And Raikkonen now, he's just out behind Mali, so that's a good stint. Oh, Raikkonen's gone on the soft tyre.
Has he forgotten about the two-stop rule? Because I was not expecting to see them soft tyres. Yeah, but they all pitted early. They all pitted early, so they sort of had to do it. Raikkonen, he just didn't need. He's going to lose a lot of time in this stint.
I don't know why he's still on the ultra softs, but he's pushing.
Yeah, noticed last season Jonas, he did do long stints on tyres, so. But I think he's losing a lot of time here. If I was Jonas, I'd have him in this lap because Dartbox's only 2 seconds behind him now.
Danestar now on CSS is not really done. However, look at this Scopefielder, obviously championship leader after Jesse got promoted to the different tier. 2 seconds late, I'll be right back. I'm getting an important phone call. Alright,
yeah, see Scopefielder in the back of Kian, obviously Kian, it's his first race this season. He's doing a good job in 7th place, I have to say. He's not that far off Midnight. He could be looking on for a podium here, but Scopefielder, he looks very racy as you see James Slater pitting from the lead. That's a short stint on the supers. You have to say, I'm quite surprised how short that stint is, as Jonas is in as well. Because that means Batbot will retake the lead with Danestar in 2nd, Midnight in 3rd, and CSS in 4th, but he's still got to pit. Scopefielder he's stuck behind Kian and he can't find a way through here with Glock and Nick in close orders in 7th, with Mali in 9th who's joined this battle, with James having a go into his first few corners here. Raikkonen's got the line, you have to say, and James has to back out, and he does. He's in 11th place as Jonas come out in 12th with Lawman's not far off him. As we'll rejoin Mali, who seems to be all over the back of Nick again. I don't know what happened to Mali in his pit stop. He lost a lot of time. Maybe he served a penalty in that pit stop. We'll find out on his 2nd stop. He gets a horrible exit out of there, and Nick's pulled a good 2 tenths out of him there. So this move into the hairpin is not a done deal. Nick hasn't got DRS, so he's going to be very vulnerable here, as Mali is gaining a lot of time on him, but it's just too far back for Mali. He can't go for dive bomb there. There's Kian. Yeah, it's going well. You haven't missed much. You've missed James Slater and Jonas pitting. James Slater's gone to soft tyre and Jonas on the supers.
There's no gap now between Danestar and Dartbolt. It's just straight racing.
Yeah.
Dartbolt had a good lead at the beginning of the stint.
CSS
fallen
comes
away
in.
from a little bit.
Yeah, CSS in the pits, so I believe everybody has done one stop. Yes, they have.
Tell you what, Mally and Nick are getting very close together.
Yeah, we just saw Mally coming out of onto the long straight. He had a horrible exit, and that ruined his chance into that corner. But Mally, chance in turn one. No, I think he's playing a long game here, Mally. I think he knows he's quicker than Nick.
CSS is had a glitch, but I'm worried as well. James State has also gone on softs.
Yeah. I don't know what their plan is. Maybe the fancy run on the up just at the end, I don't know. But James Slater only did 8 laps on the supers, which that's a very short stint on the super softs. You can get 12, 13 laps on the supers, really.
Is the fresher tyres for Dartbolt now coming into play?
Yeah, the gap start staying similar as Mally gets a much better exit this time, but Nick's vulnerable. He's got no DRS, and I believe Mally should get this move done now because he had tremendous straight line speed last lap.
Nick tried to force him to go to the outside. They did a little move, but Nick couldn't do anything about that.
No.
Nick just has no pace compared to that Renault-powered McLaren. But Mally
He's run a bit deep, yeah.
Yeah.
He's blown it there with a bit of contact, but I think Nick he had the move done. Mally had the move done there, but he just ran deep, and now you can see that Mercedes gearbox yet again, and Ian Mally will be furious, I can tell you that.
It's not going to help his tyres either. Another development, Scopefield are now in the DRS of Kian, who's not too far away from midnight, so the battle for the podium is still well and truly on today.
Yeah, and Dartbolt isn't that far ahead too, so you never know.
I think the top 8 are in for a shout of anyway here.
Yeah.
I think that any of these guys could end up anywhere.
And
but Kian is looking vulnerable.
Yeah, Scopefield, he's been in the back of him in the past few laps, but Scopefield, he just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed on the Williams. So maybe he might fancy an undercut on his final stint. As Malloy picks up a time penalty, he's not having a good race, you have to say. And
even worse, just Scopefielder, Kian might be about to pick up DRS from midnight.
Yeah, so midnight he's struggling. I think he pitted early. Yeah, he's dropped off Dainstar now, so. But Kian is just outside DRS, so Scopefielder. these 3 all even match pace, I have to say. They're all the gaps are staying stagnant, and I think that could be a really fun battle towards the end of the race. As Mally is on the back of Nick again here, and really learn from his last lap.
Well, he's already gone for the inside here. He knows. Nick though is not going to let this one go.
No, but Mally has got it done. But obviously, Mally has to be careful next few corners because Nick could be on doing different lines, trying to get past. But I think Mally has got it covered. Yes, he has.
Yeah, even though this battle's far from over. When it comes to these two, I think we know Nick is a fighter. He'll fight as long as he can here. But he goes a bit deep, just Nick, and I think that's going to be not. I think that's might be his run. But Kian is again now in the DRS of midnight. Yeah,
just about. Obviously, he might be just eyeing up his prey here. Next couple of laps, he'll be looking to get within half a second, ideally, coming out of the end of sector 2.
To you is, mate, here comes Nick on the inside of Mally. That was a great chance there from Nick, but nothing doing there. Unfortunately,
no, I think
Mercedes.
Mally.
My question originally was: do you think for Kian and allow Scopefield to just get closer to that Williams and perhaps go through wide down the back straight?
Yeah, I think they're all close up on each other, so I think that was what might happen. And Kian, he's within 7 tenths, so if he gets a good exit out of here, which as Dainstar picks up yet another penalty, so at the moment he's going to drop down to 5th place, because I think Midnight's got a penalty. I'm not sure about Kian or Scopefield though.
Here we go though. What will Kian do? He can't get there, neither can Scopefielder. So it's quite anticlimactic there. We thought that we were 3 wide, we didn't see anyone. And look how much Nick is dropping back to Raikkonen on fresh softs here, which is a weird strategy, but Raikkonen's
oh my god, you almost hit me there. As Mally spun it.
Mally!
Oh, he's got to be careful joining the track. Oh, it's close to Jonas there. Mally, it was looking good for him in qualifying, but you have to say his race has gone downhill.
He's done it again. He's cooked the tyres, I think, mate. Oh,
yeah.
He's on the circuit. Oh, he might get a penalty for that.
Yeah, I think he's alright now though, so we'll rejoin Kian. He was within 4 tenths of midnight. He's running up turn one.
Just going to just behind him, but Keane's got to go for the move here. He knows been that slow. He can't do it yet.
No, I think he might have a good chance down that one straight. As I'm getting terrible camera angles, I apologise for that, as it's a better camera angle here.
As Mally comes into the pits again.
You have to put a 6 set of softs on and go to the end and pray for a safety car. That's all Mally's only hope now.
Essentially, but look how slow Midnight is in the corners compared to on only 1 lap pressure super soft. But I think Keane's managed his tyres a lot better during
I think these tyres they'll be starting to go off a little bit now, so I think. But Keane gets.
Raikkonen on Nick.
Yeah, well. Schofielder's got a run on Keane here. Keane had a terrible exit out that corner there, and Schofielder might fancy his chance here, getting 4th place. But DRS train, I think, is a costing. Yeah, DRS train.
It's just keeping Keane in this. But here comes Raikkonen there on Nick.
So he's showing good pace in them soft tyres.
Oh. Yeah, but hopefully he's not forgotten about the rule. Mally has said has put on a set of boots to go to the end of the race. He can still score some good points today for the McLaren team. But for me, mate, a big Sauber driver, this is looking good for me.
Yeah, so Dartbourt's doing a really good job, and obviously Raikkonen from his mistake in qualifying, but he's having a good race, I have to say. He's back through the field well, and this bodes well for the rest of the season for him. He's got really good race pace.
I like the fact that now they battle for the fight, and it's good. It's interesting that Dartbourt is beginning to pull away now. Here.
Yeah, I think he's managed his tyres better than Dainstar. I think he was saving a little bit on the first. Obviously, he's not the youngest tyres, everybody, so I think that's playing into his hands now. And I have to say, it's looking pretty comfortable for him now. 4 seconds ahead. You can't catch your kids yet. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, mate, but Malloy on Lawman's there just got the move done.
Yeah.
Malloy, who was looking very hopeful for a good race, and he almost did it. Raikkonen and Nick going very close together in sector 1. Raikkonen's going to stick it around. But Raikkonen is getting a bit annoyed being behind this Mercedes.
Yeah, but look how close he is down here. He should get this move done down the straight.
Keane on midnight.
Yeah. Keane, he's got a good run, you have to say. Got a lunge down the inside, surely.
He's got to, yes.
Yes, he does. A good move. But Midnight's got the better exit. But Keane's got the inside line here. But now Midnight gets inside, which can turn to the outside here. But now good defending from Keane. Midnight, no, Midnight. I don't know how to say. Keane's got it covered now, as Raikkonen still behind Nick. So Nick's defending well, I have to say, for these quicker drivers.
When you know that you've got better pace, but the overtaking zones, you just can't get the move done.
Oh, it's so frustrating. I've had a few times league racing. You got in the corners, you're literally pushing the guy around the corners, but he's doing such low wings. Of Midnight. Chance for a repass here.
Keane will have to brake late as hell.
Yeah, but Midnight.
Back here.
Yeah. Well, that was close.
Keane's gonna try and dummy him here, I think, because no way Keane was actually gonna go for a move there.
No. This is allowing Dainstar to pull away. Yeah. This is allowing Dainstar to pull away, though. You have to say Dainstar was looking vulnerable at one stage. Now he's sort of squabbling. Dainstar is starting to look a little bit more comfortable in that second place. But of course, his penalties, they're probably knocking down the order.
But here we go then. Here's the next fight here for P3. John Ash gets a penalty, but again, battling the points. Good to see. After not the best qualifying, can Keane get the better of Midnight, or can Schofield get the better of Keane? It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Well, here comes Keane.
Around the outside this time now. I don't think this will work.
No, I think that was good defending from Midnight.
Yeah. But Keaton sent it down the inside there. What a move that was. He just lunged it down the inside and caught Midnight off guard there.
I'll tell you what, mate, I was just trying to say this, obviously I was not to say young is Midnight, but he's very smart with his driving.
He's talented,
however,
yeah.
A bit of an experience maybe there, and Keane was able to exploit that.
It's a both pitting or
pit it is.
Yeah, they're both pitting. So the stays out interestingly.
I think he just knows that maybe going in the same lap won't help him. And having the fresher tyres in the later stint might be his best option.
Did you see where these guys come out? Right where Malloy and CSS are, maybe.
Raikkonen and Nick.
Oh, these two are having a fun battle, I have to say. As Raikkonen gets the move done with Jonas not far behind them as Midnight.
And then Midnight.
They come out in clear air. Kian, he gets a better pit stop. Yeah,
Somewhat.
3 seconds to Malloy, so they can do an undercut on Scopefielder.
Look at this. I don't know what's happened to Nick here. He's been caught in a battle he didn't really want to get into because he was battling for the top slots. Now he's in the battle with the guys outside the top 10, really.
Yeah.
From the. Yeah, it's not really his race again. Here comes John Asso on Ultra Softs on my screen. But
he's on 3 laps younger at Super Softs than Nick. So I think Nick's tyres are going off now. So I expect Nick in the pits pretty soon as Malloy. He's in the top 10 again, so maybe he can salvage some points, which would be a pretty good recovery drive.
Right, here comes Key in a Midnight. If they battle, that'll help Scopefielder out immensely, because Scopefielder's in free air. So he just needs to run a good lap here, and he'll possibly get the better of him. Here we go, though. These guys are going to battle now. Here comes Midnight up the ins.
No, Kane's going to fight it on the outside, is he? But Midnight could do the switch back.
He's going to go for the switch. Yep. Hopefully no contact
made.
A
little bit of contact, but that's no problem.
Here comes Midnight on the exit, though.
We're on the outside here. This will be brave. This will be brave.
Surely not.
Oh! I thought it was contact there. There's a bit of lag on my part as Midnight gets the move done. Oh my god.
Oh,
Keane's got to be careful. He's got to mind his wing. He's got to mind his wing there.
Malloy's in as well, so Malloy will surely go on a set of. Here comes Scopefielder.
Supers. Yeah.
Is Scopefielder going to get the better of these guys?
It might. So they were battling.
He's going to just
behind. But he's on fresher tyres, which might come to his advantage in the race. These two have fought for these past two laps. So their tyres.
Boxed as well.
Yeah, he's come out ahead. He's stayed out ahead. I think because these two fought, that cost him the position to Danestar.
But Danestar, though, he's sort of fell back in the trap to Midnight. I don't really know how that's happened. The undercut, as we said, was powerful, but I didn't expect it to be that powerful. Could this help Midnight now along in the race? Because he's got Keen behind him.
It'll help him defend him from Keen. It'll help to defend him, Keen, but I don't think Midnight will be able to say DRS that long because Danestar's race pace seemed a few tenths quicker, but Midnight gets a really good run down the back straight. I think he's running extremely low wings. Look at this. He's almost in the back of Danestar there. He gained that whole 7 tenths down that straight, believe it or not.
What I'm saying is if he can get past Danestar is going to be in a battle he doesn't really want to be in. But,
yeah. Danestar's got penalties as well, so he needs to pull away. Yeah, he should come out around where James Slater is, but of course the 3 guys ahead, they all have to pit. We'll check out the pit stop everyone's done. So Danestar, Midnight, Kean, Scopefielder, Glock, Nick, Lawmans, Malloy, Malley and now Dartbolt have done their 2 stops.
Dartbolt will come out miles in the league, mate. Absolute leaps and bounds. He's in traffic though!
Oh. Is that James Slater? He needs to be careful here. Just don't get neither swing damage. Yeah.
But there you go. CSS is though, and Danestar. So Danestar's got a card gap now, but
Midnight's going to lose time here. Midnight's going to lose time here behind that slower car. You could see how much quicker he is.
Danestar though can catch up now. The fact that Dartbolt is in traffic, and I don't think any of these guys are going to, especially. James Slater and Viking, I don't think they'll be pitting anytime soon. I think they're going to set on a set of ultra softs. But Midnight gets the better of CSS here, and that will allow Kean to probably get the better of CSS, because CSS has a horrible exit.
Dartbolt's cleared James Slater, so that's one out the way for him. Obviously that means Danestar will probably have to deal with him pretty soon, but I think James Slater, he's on the soft, so he's won a few more laps I think, and then I think he'll stick ultras on at the end. I think that's his plan.
Could be. Who was it that forgot who was it that ran mediums last week?
Malloy, yeah. He lost a lot of time because of that.
As CSS and Kean now.
Yeah, obviously the tyre advantage for Kean. Obviously CSS, he's on a slightly different strategy to these guys, so I think CSS has been a bit sensible here. He's not fighting these guys overly hard.
Obviously we saw this in the beginning, but Danestar has caught Dartbolt by an absolute country mile on that lap.
Yeah, but I think what Danestar does, he takes a bit more at the start of the stint, and Dartbolt he sort of saves him a little bit. And then towards the end of the race, you see...
I'm inclined to agree there, but I think the major factor was the clear air that Danestar had compared to Dark
Yeah,
Bolt.
yeah, but Danestar's got them 6-second penalties, so he needs a minor miracle to win this race.
You never know what could happen with Dark Bolt. I'll quickly check the race director quickly to see what he's on.
Yeah,
He's had 3 warnings for different things, so I suppose
he probably got one for collision. Yeah, Dark Bolt is going to clear Jonas here, I think, down the back straight.
Possibly. Can Jonas defend though?
Obviously, Jonas, he's in the fight.
Dark Bolt's going to go around the outside.
Yeah.
Jonas isn't going to fight it.
Yeah, I think Jonas has been sensible then. Obviously, Raikkonen, his teammates ahead. Will there be team orders here? Will Raikkonen let his teammate through? He can't really do that though. It's got to be. If he does that, he's got to be careful because Jonas is right there. He's right there to pounce if he doesn't do it right.
Well, look how close Danestar is now though. If you really think about
it.
Yeah,
it's James Slater. Yeah, but he's going to lose time in this last few corners, I think. It's Dark Bolt. He'll DRS Raikkonen down here.
Yep.
Yeah. Dark Bolt gets a penalty as well. So.
Danestar.
Yeah. So surely Raikkonen doesn't fight at all. He just lets his teammate through.
It's probably the best place to do it.
Yeah, there's Kian is on the back of Midnight again. So these two have a race-long battle, and they're in the battle for a net 3rd place at the moment when the front 2 pit.
Malloy going fast. Look at Danestar in the corners though, compared to Jonas on those fresher tyres.
Yeah.
He wants to get through.
Of course, it's been so frustrating because it's the part where you can't overtake, and you can see that Sauber slowly pulling away ahead. So he's got to just bide his time, get moved on down the straight, which he should do pretty easily because Jonas got no DRS in the car ahead.
So yeah, Jonas though I think won't be able to defend that much, which is good, all things considered. Because now Danestar can just push and push and push.
Now Midnight and Kian starting to...
Raikkonen's using his DRS. Oh look at this from Danestar, he's going to have to go around the outside and just, can he get them done?
Yeah, Jonas has been... He's sort of... Yeah, Jonas has been sensible there, he's not overly fighting that, he knows that's not his battle, he knows he's going to have a stint on the ultras at the end where he might gain some time back on the likes of Nick and Spaghetti Chips and Lawmans, so he knows, just play it safe. As Glock has overtaken CSS.
He's currently in net P2 because of penalties. Yeah.
So a good return for the Williams driver as Midnight's all at the back of Jonas, and Jonas and Raikkonen both pit, so...
Raikkonen almost loses it going into the pit lane. That could have been dire.
So these two will... I'll be shocked if they don't go on ultras. That's what they've been waiting for, I think. So these two will light the time boards up. How far can they move up the field? It's Nick. He's going to jump them both, I think, and Will Lawmans as well. What about Malloy? Yeah, they're going to be right at the back of the field, I think.
Sorry to cut you off again there, but Glock and CSS are going for it.
Yeah.
Obviously CSS will have to box again. I don't think he can make them last that long. If he does, that's a hell of a stint. I think he's only stopped once.
He's only stopped once, yeah. He'd be in this lap for ultras, I think, because Jonas, Raikkonen and Spaghetti Chips have all dropped to the back of the field. So how far can they jump up the field? That'd be exciting to watch.
Well, I chose Danestar, you chose Dark Bolt, and I think your choice is going to be the race winner today, which I'm not too offended by, considering he's my teammate. Kian though, I tell you what, Midnight is in with this battle with Danestar, but Dark Bolt, he has just been the best performer today.
Yeah, he had a really good start. He obviously got the jump on Mali at the start. He just controlled things. Obviously, I think it helped. I think Malloy he's shown good pace. Malloy's recovered well. I think Malloy could have fought with him, but obviously that incident with Danestar has cost him any good points. As obviously, I believe Danestar, he probably dropped to, is it 4th or 5th he'll drop to at the moment. I think Scopefielder, does he have a penalty?
I'll check for you right now. Scopefielder, no, he's only got one warning miraculously.
It's CSS, he's finally picked.
Kian's got a penalty here, so Midnight is essentially for P2.
Yeah, so Scopefielder might get second here, you never know.
He might actually, you never know.
Yes.
Mally gets another penalty just to add to his woes today.
So fair play, Mally. He's stuck at it. He hasn't quit out. You have to say it's good to see. Good attitude. You want to see that from a racer.
Keane is dropping back, surprisingly.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. As Schofield, just in the DR. Is he in DRS? It's tight. Yeah. Yes, he is. He is. He's got DRS here. So maybe Schofield. He waited that extra lap to pit. Maybe that's coming to his advantage now. But he's got to clear 3 cars, which is going to be.
Slater and Malloy are going to have a little battle, I think.
Yeah, James Slater obviously on fresher tyres, so he should be looking good for some points here, James Slater. We'll see what these ultra runners can do though. They're not far behind. If Nick picks up a penalty, will that cost him dear? Will he cost him his first points this season? We'll find out pretty soon.
Well, yeah, we hope not for Nick, and obviously it's good to see him back here in One Hub. Obviously he's driving in the Mercedes, and we've had some great drivers in the Mercedes in the past. MLA comes to mind from last season, who was retired from racing, but he's still linked with the league.
Yeah. Obviously not Nick. I think Nick and Jono, they were long-term teammates of Mercedes. So Nick's got some real affinity for that team, and he really wants to be in that team. And well, he had the best stats, so he's got that car. But Mercedes might not be too happy with 7th place. They might be feeling a bit of pressure as CSS picks up a time penalty, which he's down in 13th. So the Haas drivers, they're not having such a good race.
Nick, no offence to his own here, but I would say just based on knowledge alone, in the first 2 races he's slightly underperformed.
Yeah, he's so, but it's a really strong grid, you have to say, as CSS has left the session.
Absolutely, but as a driver, it doesn't matter how strong the grid is. Teams will just expect you to get the results they want, and I think of the team's eye, obviously to us we know how bad it is, but to the team's eye they'll think perhaps they were expecting more out of the veteran.
Malloy has got a good run on Lawmans here. Can he recover at 8th place out of what happened? He'd be ecstatic if he gets an 8th place. Well, he won't be ecstatic.
Look at Midnight though.
Yeah, he's obviously Danestar. He's not really pulling away, I have to say. Midnight's hanging on in there, but he's just frustratingly, he's just out of that DRS zone as Malloy is all the back of Lawmans here, coming into the final.
I think Malloy
sector.
is well within the shot for a P7 here.
Yeah, I think you just need Key Lawmans and then Nick's there, and I think Glock's probably too far ahead, but 7th place, that's one hell of a recovery.
I'll tell you what, James Slater though, he's looking quite punchy behind.
Yeah, James Slater. Yeah, Malloy's got to attack and defend at the same time. That is very difficult to do, let me tell you. Yeah.
Wow.
These ultra runners, they aren't really catching, you have to say. Jonas gaps sort of stayed similar, so I don't think it's worked out. It's Malloy and James Slater.
Midnight's in the DRS of Danestar. That's going to help him out tremendously.
Yeah. And Schofield is a lot closer to Kean now, so Schofield and Kean's out of DRS, so Schofield might have a chance to put that Williams under a bit of pressure here.
Look at Midnight's straight line speed though, as we said, running low rings.
Just needs to get a bit closer in the corners. If he can get a good run through that first sector, he should breeze past, I have to say.
Obviously 3 laps to go here, the laps have just kept going.
Yeah.
Look at James Slater though. On Malloy!
Oh.
Very close.
And Nick has passed Lawmans, I believe, for 7. Oh no, Nick was over Lawmans already, wasn't he? Yeah.
Oh, James Slater was onto the back of Malloy there after a huge lock-up trade.
No, Nick has passed Lawmans, sorry. Nick has passed Lawmans for 7th place.
Seventh is probably the best case scenario for Malloy, as we said.
Yeah.
However, 3 laps to go. The battle for P2 is not over. Technically, in my professional mathematic equation,
yeah.
I mean, to finish 5th and get 2nd, I mean, I would take that. 2 seconds on the bounce.
he's just
keep
got
him in the championship league.
Yeah, he's just got to be careful here. He's just got to not run wide or anything. And you can see them three ahead. He might know the penalties of the car ahead, but he won't know the penalties for the two cars ahead. So he might come to shock. If it says like this, he'll come on second, which is 2 second places. You have to say in the short season, consistency. You get rewarded with consistency, obviously. So you can't afford that many DNFs. So I think 2 second places. He'll be happy with his season so far.
Look at Midnight though. Every lap closing on Danestar.
Yeah, he just needs to have a good run through these. The problem is with running low wings is you struggle in these corners, so he tends to be too far back when that straight comes. And again, Dane starts slowly pulling away in this section.
I still think he'll Danestar though, considering when there was a 2 tenths gap after the straight. So I think his setup is overall the better one he feels comfortable with it at least. It might have been the best setup.
Defending here, he's feeling under pressure. I don't think he had to defend that far back, but he's at line speed. He's
keep it very well. He's looked at it very well.
Yeah. He gained 3 tenths down that straight, so if he's within 6 tenths going around this back straight, I think he'd get the move done. Dane starts struggling there a little bit. That might be Midnight's invitation to get this move done.
Especially in the high speed corners now where Midnight will 6 tenths here. I think he'll get that as Danestar runs wide, and that's not going to help his run at all. Yeah, I think it's almost essentially Malloy gets another penalty there. But you know, this could, is he going to do it from 6 tenths back? We'll find out. Danestar was feeling so under pressure. He immediately commits that inside.
Yeah, I think he might get the move done here now. He's so much closer now. He's going to lunge down the inside, surely. I know Midnight, he will lunge it down the inside. No, he doesn't. I'm quite disappointed there, I have to say. I thought
we want to see some action, boys. Come on.
Yeah, Goldfield there again is within Kian's range. Them two have been together all race. Yeah. I know these two are very good friends, so they might be in the party together, so maybe don't want to have too many conflicts going on.
Right. Well, this is going to be about to go into the final lap here. And speaking of our Dartbolt, who was led from, I want to say, turn 1, almost, apart from when Mally, because Mally lost it on the line, so I want to say Dartbolt was leading. You know, could this be Dartbolt's up last lap? What can Midnight
Scottfield or Midnight, yeah.
It's going to be the last lap.
Yeah. Yeah, Midnight's so much closer now. I say he's on all the tyres as well, so he's managed the tyres better as well. I'm quite surprised. Dane's has some fresher tyres, but look how close he is now.
Got no grip.
The problem is, Midnight, he might be too close now, because coming out of an exit, he might get a lot dirtier here, so he's just got to get his 10 splits out of here, and I think the move should be done now. Wide. Yeah. Just get a good exit out of here.
Will defend.
But I think he's got no defence now. It's going to be an easy move here. Raikkonen picks up a penalty. That might cost him some points at the end. But Midnight has got a good run here. He's got to go down the inside line. Is he? Can Dane start defending inside? No, he can't. So Midnight, if he breaks well here, he should.
What? Slow. Very well. Oh, contact made. Danestar goes deep, which allows Midnight to switch back. The Danestar will have the inside line. Oh.
Yeah, Midnight should get good exit out of here, but a very brave man going outside here, and Danestar has it covered.
He's about to come across the line, and congratulations to Dartbolt in the Sauber. Good job.
Yeah, controlled drive.
Can go down to the line, but Dartbolt will take the win here in Austin.
Yeah, it's a pretty controlled drive. He got the launch at the start, and he looked pretty comfortable now and in. It's Danestar, Scottfield to get second, Kian third, Danestar, Midnight. Them two's fighting. It's cost on the podium, and Scottfield to get second, Danestar fourth, Midnight fifth, Glock sixth, Nick, and Costline is seventh.
Where's everyone going to finish? Seventh, eighth.
Oh, James Slater gets seventh. He jumped all them places. Lawman's in 10th, Jonas.
Malloy had so many penalties, right down to 11th. Raikkonen in 12th. Spaghetti Chips and these guys, I think they're all just going to be par for the course, and no questions here. But that is your final lineup. What a race! Right, we'll go through the run, and we've got to somehow do all this. Pick a driver of the day.
Oh God, there's a lot of really good drives, I have to say today, especially at the front five. All drove excellently. They all had And even the guys further down, I'd say they all. There's only one DNF as well, which is really good. There was a lot of close fighting. As you see, the Sauber team, Alfa Romeo Sauber team with the win, with Red Bull in second and Williams in third.
Well done, boys. But no, would you like me to run through the grid, or do you want to do it after the graphic finishes?
I'll see if my thing loads. I hope my thing loads at this time, because it did last time. As yeah, we'll see. Let's just round off the podium here with the yeah. There's as Dark Bolt has secured the win for the Alfa Romeo Sauber team, with Scope Fielder in second, Kian in third, Dane Star in fourth, Midnight in fifth, Gorka, good driving in sixth, James Slater in seventh, Nick in eighth, Lawman's 10th, and Jonas gets his first points of the season in 10th, Malloy in 11th, a disappointing day for him, Raikkonen in 12th, Spaghetti Chips in 13th, Mali in 14th, from pole to 14th, not what he wanted, CSS in 15th, and Owen Wyatt was our only DNF. As I'll go for my draft day first. I fancy a bit of an outsider. I fancy maybe going for Scope Fielder. He kept it clean. He avoided the penalties, which is difficult to do around there, and he drove a nice, sensible race to get second.
Well, I'm going to go with James Slater, and I think it's a bit of a disservice to our leader here to not choose him, but I think just because he didn't really have any challenges, I'm going to go with James Slater. He had a very good drive, and I think he should be proud of that one, so I'm going to nominate him for the driver of the day. So your driver of the day options are Scope Fielder with James Slater, so get voting on Twitter at OneHub Racing.
Yes, indeed, as I will round out the stream tonight. So thank you very much everyone for watching. Obviously do check out our sponsor Next Level Racing on their website. If you enter the code OneHub10 you'll get a 10% discount on all their great sim racing gear. As next week we've got Bahrain. What do you think about Bahrain? Do you like that track?
Oh, I'm excited for Bahrain. I think it's going to be another track where I actually finish.
Obviously
the curse is going to end. I'm calling it.
Yeah,
I'm calling the
points for Alex next week, and I quite like Bahrain. It's probably my strongest track in the game. I think I got a 4th place there last season, so maybe I can do one better.
I hope to see you on track. Jamie.
Yeah,
have a
hopefully
little battle.
We have a good battle, yeah.
Hopefully one that doesn't end in tears, so then when we come in here it's not you know, a bit aggy, but you know, hopefully we'll have if we are racing, we'll have a nice clean one. But anyway guys, just for me before Jamie runs out the stream, I want to say thank you for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Me and Jamie will be back next week at the same time, 8:30. But if you guys do want to watch more action before Jamie runs out, I believe the Prestige race is just about to finish qualifying, so if you want to see more action from the top that we have to offer here at OneHub, go check out there. I believe it's Evil Dragon and living Jack doing it.
That's if he's awake. It's Evil Dragon's debut this week, so wishing the best for that, and we'll see you all next week for Bahrain. So good night from me.
Goodbye everyone.